Dentro das comunidades, me queda excelente. De minha vida privada, de meu trabalho. E seguro ora trata de turista que paga para vir na isla para passar pouco dia duche. Me tem responsabilidade de dar a melhor comida e o melhor serviço possível. Me tem sorte para desfrutar tudo que tem. E sendo toda a minha satisfação só, é da comida também.
Da duche para duche gente.
Da duche?
Para duche gente.
The reason for this tourism summit, I like to put it this way, is because I love Curaçao. And all of us here, we all love Curaçao. And tourism is part of Curaçao. Tourism is a very big part of Curaçao, and our hearts beat tourism. So I thought this was the proper message to convey to all of you tonight, because I know that you all feel the same way. To put it in perspective, we have reasons to be proud of this tourism industry. In the last 10 years, our export sector of tourism has grown more than double, from 400 million guilders to 972 million in 2013. And tourism accounts for 23% of our total exports of the island of Curaçao. So we do have reasons to be proud of this industry, but we also have a few challenges. We are faced with a few challenges, and that's why we're all here, to discuss these challenges and see how we can all work together and grow this industry for all of us.
Now, what about the Caribbeans? There is a specific data, a set of data on the Caribbeans. And that you can see, in arrivals, in 2010, there were 20.1 million. 2020, it's forecast to 25 million. In 2030, to 30 million. In terms of annual average growth, in 1995 to 2010, 2.4%. 2010 to 2020, 2.4%, the same. But between 2020 and 2030, only 1.7% annual average growth. And in terms of market share, the Caribbeans are forecasted to lose market share. In 2010, the market share was 2.1%. In 2030, according to UNWTO, the market share will decrease to 1.7%. Again, the explanation in the data is because of the maturity and the attractiveness of newer destinations, because most of the Caribbeans have been in the business of tourism for quite a while, and new ones are coming on board.
I think I've already expressed my dislike for departure taxes and other taxes being placed on tickets. And I also dislike the name of departure tax, because it sounds to me that you got to pay money to leave the country, which is not a good idea and a good concept. And we have a simple task, as far as I'm concerned, which is really to move every single day closer and closer to 100% occupancy in our properties. And every day we have to move and increase our yields for what is happening. And every day we have to move our visitor satisfaction levels closer and closer to 100%. And when people begin to tell you it's not possible, I'm going to tell you it is. Because there are all kinds of things we can do in order to make that experience come forward. And we have to assemble all of the talent that we need in order to achieve these things, like we were talking about at the beginning. It's a wonderful desire to want to do these things, but let's make sure that we find all of the talent available in this room on private and public sector side, and making sure that we are going after some of the goals that we are trying to find. And then, of course, making sure that collectively we bring the resources that's available to make sure that we can get the magic that we're looking to happen. And I always believe that one of the things that I'd love to see in Curaçao, or any other place in our region for that matter, I've always said that we need to grow our business because this is so important. We are the most tourism dependent place on earth. That we should become the most tourism competent. And we need to do some things that begin to show the world that we are the most tourism competent. I think we can do that. And we should get our demand up to the point where every single day things are going so good that the day comes when we can find ourselves in that wonderful situation where we can stop charging people departure taxes and we start charging people admission. That's really what we should go doing.
What you see here on the slide is basically what we learned from the minister last night, which is the significance of tourism development on the island of Curaçao. Its size, its magnitude in terms of its contribution to the economy. When you just look at tourism development on the island, its direct implication, so meaning that you only look at the receipts on an annual basis, we are talking at least of 13% contribution to the economy. Last night the minister talked over 900 million guilders. So it's close to $600 million. It's a huge amount of money, which basically affects a lot of people. But if you add that to how that dollar moves around the island in the, among the several economic sectors and touching upon several people, we are talking much more than that. We are talking that suddenly that 900 million guilders has become about 23% of the total economy of the island. So it's about, for each dollar that is produced in this country, 25 cents is basically generated from tourism. So that's the magnitude that we are talking about. So it's important when we talk about tourism that we know the size and its significance.
Experiences are the personal thing. They engage an individual in an emotional, physical, intellectual, or spiritual way. So we have to tug on the emotion. We have to, get them involved physically, intellectually, spiritually. That creates the experience. That's what we have to work on. That's what we're here for. So, commodities, goods, and services are external to the buyer. Experiences are inherently personal, existing only in the mind of the individual. I go downtown Willemstad with any three of you, we're all going to have a different experience because it's personal. It's in our minds.
What can make you different? And how can you not only, how can we make the destination different, but how can you, each one individually, make a difference to that, okay? So it's not a question about the destination and then blaming others when it's not happening. The intention here is when we go back and come back here is how can I contribute? So what are we suggesting is to add a fourth S. So Curaçao will be sun, sand, and sea, and smile. It is a simple idea. It is a simple idea. Everybody can do it. Everybody can do it. And we have to think like Nike. Just do it.
And I think we all feel the same way. We all love Curaçao, and I still feel that the glass is not empty, it's half full. We have a lot to be proud of, and that's the message also that was conveyed during this survey. And I agree with Mr. Jim Heppel, 100%. It is a small sample, it is a very small sample, but we need to get the data analysis more active. We have to use the numbers and ask the tourists what they want. And the message is clear. I totally agree, we have to improve the service level, we have to smile. So how are we gonna fill this glass up? I mean, that's our goal, fill the glass up. Make Curaçao more attractive to everybody, attract more tourists to the island, either from Holland, from Germany, from Brazil, from the US. Let's start smiling. our attitude. That was also one of the words that came up. Attitude of our people. And it starts with everybody. Unified vision. That word also came up. We all have to think in the same direction. So, leadership. You're asking for leadership. Well, I'm not going to be here forever as a Minister of Tourism, but while I'm here, you can count that I'm going to carry this sector on my back and give you all the support that you will require.
Usa com a palavra da Dushi, Bombini. Nosso lugar por tem roupa e atração, bonita paisagem, Dushi ver, roupa coisa como por aí um turista vai gostar de ver. Pero logo um turista te queda cora mais que turcos, tá com nossa mostrar que nós tá contente com estar aqui, que lá é bom trato, bom serviço, que está bata bom mini cerca nós. Da Dushi para Dushi ende.
Da Dushi.
Para Dushi